what open source initiative is going to counterattack Microsoft's Get the Facts?
Yeah, so Microsoft's Get the Facts program, I have heard people say, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard people say that they spend $50 or $100 million on that message. I can tell you that the OSI does not have $50 million or $100 million to counter-program the message. Instead, what we are doing is we are promoting success stories and we are letting facts speak for themselves. I have seen less and less of Microsoft's Get the Facts campaign, partly because I think that people are now very, very skeptical of those claims.
This is maybe the last question. From 1998 on, free and open source software had a huge growth. Is this due to OSI? What other factors were crucial to this growth?
I think that the factors that are crucial are number one, better quality software. Number two, software which is more easily deployed into a wider range of circumstances. Number three, the ability of companies to become experts more rapidly because open source makes it possible to learn things better. Number four, I think that Red Hat's training program, the RHCE program, I just found out that we certified our 20,000th Red Hat certified engineer, and this ability to raise the level of open source knowledge within companies has been tremendous at building confidence in our solution. I also think that the development of Red Hat's Enterprise Linux product has been able to satisfy many of the concerns that were raised in earlier times. When Red Hat was doing a retail distribution, it was not possible to reach into the corporate market. And I think that Red Hat's success has been to move Linux into an enterprise position that gives it high visibility, that gives it high value, and that inspires other people to emulate this behavior and build solutions. So I think it was the software developers, I think it was the software community, I think it was training, and I think it was building really the best product.
But what's the importance of OSI? Because it was truly important, and maybe it contributed to growth of quality.
Yes, OSI made it possible for many other companies to really join the open source movement. There were many companies who had built substantial projects and they wanted to license them under terms that they believed were correct. The OSI reviewed those licenses, argued with them, helped them understand open source issues, and we now have a lot of licenses that people can choose from. And I also think that the OSI has been seen as a very neutral organization that has helped promote an open source message in a way that is totally different than the way the proprietary companies have basically just said it's either my product or nothing.
Some people say, I have heard this in this forum, that OSI is not has not the freedom ideals that free software has. The open source community has not the same freedom ideals that free software community has. Is this accurate?
I have been thinking about how to answer that question, and I don't know that I have the perfect answer, but let me give you a try. So, freedom is something which is very important to the individual. Freedom is something that the individual carries with them as they walk in the world. Openness is something that a community has to individuals who come in. And so in a way, freedom is how the individual walks in the world. And openness is how communities welcome. And the idea of freedom itself is not well understood in terms of how should a community behave. Freedom is understood in terms of how can an individual behave. but individuals want to know that there are welcoming communities. And so that is why the openness message is important. Simply saying to somebody, you can have your freedom, doesn't tell you how you will be treated when you come in. And so I see the OSI and the FSF as being very much allies, and just with different focuses. And I am one who chooses to believe that different focus does not mean one is right and one is wrong. It's just, you know, a difference of goals.
Finally, what message can you give to computer science and computer engineering students? The free software and open source communities have built an amazing array of technologies. When I was starting out in free software, there were very limited choices for what kinds of projects I could join and what kinds of projects I could contribute to. Today, open source GIS, you know, the GRASS project, which is all GPL, the Blender project, which is open source, the Postgres and MySQL databases, the GNU compiler tools. There is something for almost everyone, and I would encourage them to look at a lot of different projects, because they will find their passion if they look broadly. Well, Michael Tiemann, thank you for the interview.
Great, thank you.